Northern Irish guy. Don't agree with the riots, but people have had enough aside from Farage and Badenoch. The politicians don't seem to get it. We, the people of Northern Ireland, need change. Fiona in Bristol. Jez, why haven't seen immigration officers wearing Union Jack underpants when the illegal migrants come in? Well, they won't see them unless they don't wear any trousers, love. Will they, Becca? The voice note that said protest at the ballot box. Does this idiot not realise that we've done that for the last 30 years and nothing's worked? Hello to Ben. Good morning, Jez. The political class is largely broken whilst it's made up of career politicians that will only ever do what is best for themselves and never for us, the people. Peter, next it will be anyone who demonstrates, even peacefully, will be banned from wearing the Union Jack flag or carrying it, but it's okay to display the Palestinian flag every Saturday in London town. So the police, says Kay, will they have the Union Jack removed from their uniform? Dan, treated like dogs. I wouldn't treat my dog the way the government treats us, that's for sure. Jez, so many. Adam, I'm sick of hearing the far right. I'm sick of hearing people like this being labelled with mental health issues. I'm sick of spineless politicians who don't have a clue leading this country. We need change. We need someone who will take control, bring in rules to stop anyone who wants to harm a British citizen or their neighbours. Chris in Hornchurch, finally. What have people got left, Jez? We've protested, done petitions, voted against immigration for decades. We get called racist and ignored by all the main parties. How do we get the political class to listen to the people who pay their damn wages? Very quickly, been delighted and trying to get them on a week. Former Met Police Officer Roy Ram. Roy, how are you?
Good morning. Very well, thank you.
Roy, the scenes over the last two nights in Belfast, none of us condone. Last night the police were using water cannons, there were bricks and there were bottles thrown. And I guess for many of us here, the frustration is that the few, the renter mob as I call them, are demeaning, if you like, degrading, making less important the message to the government, which is, will you please get your head out of the sand and explain to us, rather acknowledge there is this huge problem with immigration and give us a plan by which you're going to improve the situation.
Yeah, look, I don't disagree with anything you just said. I think, first of all, I'd like to say my sympathy is with the police officers for the police service of Northern Ireland who are in the middle of this and being injured. You know, the PSNI has done an extraordinary job in dealing with a society that was riven by sectarianism, and there they are again facing the kind of violence that we thought we wouldn't see again in Northern Ireland. And I think it emanates from, frankly, a policy vacuum. I think we've got successive governments that have ignored what what people are saying, what their fears are about immigration and the level of it. And what you're seeing now is disenfranchised young men who can't get a job, and they perceive it to be as a result of immigration. And you have politicians whose solution seems to be solely two words: please keep calm. And that's not a policy. That's an abrogation of their responsibility.
And I think that's it. And we've been at pains to point out that nobody condones it because, as I said, it's counterproductive. But I understand where it comes from. You heard that text just then. We've campaigned, we've marched, we've voted, we've done this, we've done that. And there seems to be this this mental block, this blindness to a situation that we all know is happening. But, I guess as we draw to a close for my week, I am slightly sustained by the fact of something I said earlier. 10 years ago, Roy, you couldn't have mentioned the word racism in any which immigration because you'd be called a racist.
Yeah.
I think it's very important that governments, whoever they are, wherever they are, understand that the people are no longer going to just accept your platitudes. There's got to be more to this. And this obsession with trying to do right by criminals, illegals, whatever you want to say, to the detriment of your indigenous population is not going to go away. And I think that God knows. I'd have thought our prime, and where's our Home Secretary? I haven't heard from her. It's Thursday, for God's sake. I don't know whether they've got a death wish, this current government, or whether they're out of their depth, or they're just, frankly, I think it's this one. I think they're too terrified of doing anything for fear of upsetting their voter base. I've said that for a long, long time, and I make no apology for that. But
they also seem to be completely consumed by their internal wars and their own leadership, rather than looking outside at what really concerns the public.
No more holding back.
Yeah, and I guess if you do that, even if you've got the biggest post-war majority, if you lose the feeling... I mean, I don't know about you. All I want I don't expect my politicians to get everything right. I expect them to make mistakes. I just want them to be honest. Like the last lady said, Kim Kelly, we didn't know that there weren't any... The people didn't know that there weren't any illegal migrants in that HMO or that hotel. There's a lack of information. And you know, at the end of the day, I share what you said about the PNSI. I get it. I completely and utterly get that. We've talked separately about two-tier policing this week, but I think I got accused yesterday of over-egging it online, like I give a damn about that. But I do think we all need to accept that this is might not be right what we're seeing in any which way, but it frightens me that this isn't going to go away unless our politicians address it correctly, Roy.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. And, you know, as you were talking and you're showing those images of those streets of Northern Ireland and what Kim Kelly said, it's ordinary working class people, it's the ordinary people of Northern Ireland that are really going to suffer from this violence. And it's just simply not right. And politicians need to stop thinking about themselves and thinking about the people they represent, and they have to fill this policy vacuum with something that's meaningful and straightforward and easily understood. Again, what Kim Kelly said, people don't know what's going on. If there are policies to deal with illegal immigration or excessive legal immigration, let the public know what they are very clearly, and give these young people some hope of economic activity, of jobs that are going to give them a chance of life. But when you look at those streets that are burning in Northern Ireland, you know, hopelessness and helplessness will lead to riots.
I've got a different word for it, actually. I think it doesn't exactly... It's probably not strong enough. I just think it's complete unfairness, right? I think that's what fuels so many people that do everything right, and then their frustration boils over, not this bunch of folks, you know, the thousands that march peacefully, because they just think, why did I bother doing it right? Why did I bother staying within the law or paying my tax or getting a job or looking after my kids? Because some scumbag in the road or some toe rag is coming from across the water, wherever that is, Sudan, Eritrea, Africa, I don't care, and doesn't even respect those things that I have to respect. He's getting treated better than me. I think that's absolutely it.
I think you made another very important point there about the people who are calm and peacefully protest. You know, there were thousands of them out there, protesting properly and peacefully. And I think what happens is they feel that they're not heard, and then a minority say, well, no one's listening to your peaceful protest, we'll take it to another level, and they will listen to us. And unfortunately, then it taints the great majority.